TikTok has a trend of making very wrong people very famous. Since 2020, there have been hundreds of video creators that became a sensation on social media. Whether it's due to their dancing skills or humor or another thing that does not require any talent whatsoever that define their internet presence. I mean, you name it, Charlie Damelio, Addison Rae, and Bella Poarch, and many others. But there is one TikToker that stands out to me the most. Yeah, I'm Caroline, and not particularly for her makeup skills or gothic outfits, and surely not for her music, but mostly for her wrongdoings. I mean, who would have known that the girl cosplaying as Vanellope from the Ralph movie will turn out to be such an evil person hated amongst the community that she belongs to? And ever since I mentioned her in my TX2 video, because Evan and Caroline are a red-haired match made in hell, you guys have asked me to make a video on her as well. So why is everybody talking about Caroline right now, and what did she do wrong? You will find out today. Hi! Of course, as I mentioned before, Caroline's cosplay as Vanellope got viral because she looked so alike to this character, it initially paved the way to success in her TikTok content creator career. But you don't get 10 million followers just for that, right? A huge part of Caroline's success on social media is hopping on latest trends. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2021, everyone was obsessed with strawberry cows, mushrooms, and frogs. Almost every video on my For You page back then somehow related to frogs, whether it was an outfit, a drawing, or something else creative. And Caroline was definitely aware of that because she got herself 2 frogs as pets. So very soon, a lot of videos of her holding or playing with frogs attracted more and more fans. And eventually, it came to people's attention that she is actually mishandling her frogs in all of those videos. Listen, I'm not a frog expert, but for start, I would just say that I did a quick Google search, and you see how in all of those videos Caroline is holding her frogs with her bare hands, right? Well, actually, you see, frogs are amphibians, which means that they have skin that lets a lot of liquids and gases to pass through. But human hands are very dirty and very oily, and if you hold your frog with your hands, it's gonna absorb all of the harmful stuff that's on your hands. And it's actually very dangerous for them to hold them without your gloves on or for a very long time. But it came to my attention that actually Caroline's frogs specifically are a specific type of frogs that can be held in your hands.
These next pictures are going to make some little random woke tweens mad, but these are white tree frogs, also known as Australian dumpy tree frogs. They live in Australia, and I'll show you where they usually live. But most often found in toilets!
Amphibians are not supposed to live in toilets. I know, shocking, right? Like, yes, it happens, and there's occurrences like that that are just kind of mind-blowing, but it's also in Australia.
First of all, you can hold your frogs without gloves. You can, as long as your hands are clean and they don't have a bunch of oils on them, you can hold them up.
So you aren't inherently wrong about that. This is what I found with a quick Google search. And as you can see, it takes a lot to try and even hold or touch your frog. So it probably would be way safer if you just use gloves. Also, I'm not going to pretend like I haven't seen your comments saying that you've only recently started using gloves for your videos.
This is a confirmation of that. By the way, she also deleted most of the videos without gloves too. But you know, if that's the case, still, there's videos of her putting frogs on her wigs and on her chest and on her makeup. When she was explaining the situation, she said that she only takes those frogs out to film videos, which seemed to a lot of people as she only uses those frogs for her content and basically uses them as props.
I don't even hold my frogs for more than 20 minutes a week, okay? People say I use my frogs as props.
So what I'm hearing is that you only get them out for videos. So I think it'd be pretty valid to say that they are props to you. They are a living creature.
People trying to cancel somebody for just having a frog and using them in videos. People do it with all the other kinds of reptiles and all kinds of other dogs and cats.
I'm just gonna bring this back up where it says all amphibians. Amphibian? Also at the end there, did you just compare a frog to a cat?
Again, I'm not a frogs expert, but if you are, I would love to hear your opinion on the situation in the comments. We would all appreciate this insight in the situation, so feel free to comment and let us know whether it was actually wrong or not. Surprisingly, this isn't what everybody is talking about right now. The discussion about Caroline on TikTok starts with her cover on a song called Cherry Bomb by the Runaways. Oh, why would somebody get mad at somebody for covering a song? Lisa, are you crazy? Is this really what's happening? Yes, it does. But not exactly for this reason. I'm not a musician, okay? But objectively, I would say that Caroline's cover sounds decent. Much better than TX2's whole discography, I dare to say. Regardless, the main reason why people are mad at this cover is because this song is kind of known as this punk anthem, and Caroline is far from being punk. For those of you who don't know, punk is mostly about anti-government, anti-consumerism, anti-corporatism, and heavily focuses on the freedom of expression of individuals and DIY. I know it's a lot of things that I just said, but if you think about it for 5 seconds, you will understand that all those things connect together. Caroline is completely opposite from that. She buys a lot of from fast fashion stores, and she supports doll skill, which is famously known stealing other people's art and putting it on their clothes. A lot of people say that she is the type of influencer to use a subculture as an aesthetic. Like, she only dresses that way but does not actually hold any beliefs or views of people that would belong to alternative communities. Basically, she only uses it as her fashion style to gain sponsors, as some people say. But she does use her platform to speak up on political issues, and she does not actually say that she's punk. She's goth, which is ironically derived from punk, but whatever. Unlike TX2 that shouts on every single corner that he's punk and then actually doesn't do anything a punk would do.
This is your sign to die.
Using punk or other subcultures as an aesthetic has become a huge issue in alternative community. A lot of people are outraged at this. I'm glad people are sparking discussions about this because a lot of alternative creators are unfortunately like this, including Jake Weber. And unfortunately, I do have an opinion on him, and I really would like to make a video just talking about Tara, Jake, and Johnny, how they got so popular, and some controversies that they have. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment because I really want to do that. I will put my everything in that video, I promise. Just let me know, okay? And speaking of Caroline's music career, she has this song, Dig Up My Ex. It's about all those witchy themes and her ex, obviously, right? A lot of people that actually practice witchcraft, they said that it made them mad because it painted witches in a very, very negative way. And then regular viewers just said that they don't like the song because it looks like she just googled all of the words associated with witchcraft and put them in a song very randomly, and it sounded really bad. Okay, so this is like the most recent controversy surrounding Caroline, if you have been wondering or searching for what's going on. So this is actually it, which I think isn't even that significant compared to what I'm gonna say next. If anything, TX2 and Caroline have in common is beefing with people online. I have seen quite a few videos of people meeting Caroline in real life in a social setting, and this interaction turning into some sort of drama because of how Caroline behaves in front of people.
So last year I was at a show to see a local band that I liked perform, and Caroline Carr was also one of the acts playing that night. And so I was in the women's bathroom in between bands talking to someone I knew at the show when she walked in, and I actually knew from the person I had been talking to that she had a bit of a reputation for being rude. And so the three of us share kind of an awkward interaction in which during it she happens to notice I am wearing this tank top. And actually, I have a picture of how I styled the tank top in the exact women's bathroom where this happened. So I'm wearing this. And if you don't understand what's on the tank top, that is a logo for a club called The Church. It's one of the longest running gothic nightclubs in the United States. I bought the tank top at the club the night they were selling the physical merch at the club. So she looks me up and down and says, "You go to the church?" Do I go to the church? Do I go to the church? Like, I don't know, you guys, does it look like I go to the church? Because, I mean, I have all these pictures from me at the church. So don't really know why she felt the need to doubt my goth credentials in a women's bathroom of all places. That was just really random to me. And the real punchline to all of this is that she doesn't even go to the church. Because I've seen her there maybe 3 times. And so it's just wild to me that, like, she promotes herself as, like, a gothic alternative figure, like, whatever, fashion icon, musician, whatever it is she's trying to be, and you don't even participate in the culture around you. So, like, what's your deal?
So, if you don't get the memo, Caroline just basically gatekeeped a goth club both of those people go to. Basically said that this person, the creator of this video, is not goth enough to be in that club. And she genuinely had an attitude towards a person that also goes to the same goth club as you. Like, why are you so mad out of nowhere? By the way, goth is mainly a music-based, mindset-based subculture. And you don't have to look goth 24/7 or have a full face of goth makeup to be goth. You know, I wouldn't really rely on he said, she said, but the creator of this video is actually not known for exposing TikTok creators or meeting a lot of famous people often, which would be very suspicious. This was actually a very random video where they decided to share with us a situation that happened. But anyways, this is not the only situation where people interacted with Caroline and it all went wrong. Next video that I'm going to show you, it's a lot to debunk.
I don't like this one TikToker who everyone likes. I'll name drop her, actually. Caroline Carr. I don't like Caroline Carr. I never have, never will. Anyway, I was trying to tell a story about how me and my friend Matthew saw her at Petco the other day. Crazy. Wild. Anyway, we just made fun of her the entire time and laughed about it, and then she left. We didn't confront her or anything. Anyway, so I'm trying to tell this man, who's my man, but also not my man. I said, do you know who this is? I showed him a picture. He goes, is that Chapel Roan?
You know, making fun of somebody regardless of who they are is pretty unjustifiable behavior to me, but in the next clip that I'm going to show you, the creator of this video is going to explain what they actually meant by saying they were making fun of Caroline, so let's just watch.
Come on now, I'm a hater, but I don't hate on people for no reason. If you want, you can look through my comments about why Caroline Carr is a bad person for the generic reasons of mishandling her frogs, just generally being a poser, all this stuff. I'm not saying Caroline herself is transphobic, but she is friends with a transphobe, and that is where I have personal beef. I personally know the transphobe in question. I have played many shows with him, and the bassist of his old band came out as trans, and he quit the band because he didn't feel comfortable around a trans person, and also constantly misgendered her when she came out. I live in the city that she lives in. Like, literally, this is such a small fucking town. Everybody knows everybody. No one likes her.
Before I say anything, of course, Caroline made a responding video about this, right? Because the video that I showed you gained like 1 million views. But she deleted it. Thankfully, the creator that met Caroline actually took a screenshot of that video, but that's about all we have about the situation, which is very weird. All the other information on the situation will be coming from other people, which is not a reliable source, but we're still gonna look into that. Wow, that's a lot of text, but basically Caroline just said what happened and then was mean to people in the comments. If it is actually true and Caroline called this person miserable and hated on them in the comments, it's not okay. And I think more of a mature way to handle the situation from Caroline would be just forgetting about it. Just ignore it. You don't have to speak up on any human interaction you had. I mean, regardless of how it sounds, people make fun of TikTokers all the time. You will receive criticism all the time. After all, you're a public figure and it doesn't even matter. So we can conclude based on those experiences that Caroline isn't the best TikToker that you would like to be in real life. And that she acts pretty toxic and has an attitude for people that meet her in public and the people that know her. So far, this is all evidence that I found on Caroline, but there are a few more things that are floating around about Caroline on the internet. For example, like her bullying a teenager online. But because dear Caroline posts too damn much every single day, after scrolling her TikTok for 3 hours, I could not find anything and I gave up. So So I cannot neither confirm or deny if this really happened. And of course, just for the record, I'm not making those videos to start beef with somebody. You are free to prove me wrong. You are very free to disprove my points and respond to this so that people knew the truth. But so far, this is what people talk about, and this is what are the wrongdoings of Caroline Carr. If you know something more about the situation, you are very free to DM me on my social media, and just don't forget to follow my social media. I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok. I post daily memes about music and my favorite bands and all of this stuff. And I will politely ask you to like this video or no, I don't care. And lastly, I'm reminding you about that Jake, Tar, and Johnny video that I want to make. So just let me know your opinion about it. And now, bye!